Good evening, people. It is a marvelous Monday, and we are back. Now, listen, Real Housewives of Atlanta did not come on last night, but we have not recapped episode 5 of NextGen NYC. So tonight, instead of Real Housewives, we're going to get in episode 5 of NextGen NYC. Good evening, Auntie. How are you?
How you doing?
How you doing? Listen, let me tell you. So, okay, y'all, just real quick before we get the show started, we are welcoming everybody in the building as we're waiting for the rest of everyone to come in. I received a text message earlier today, Auntie, okay?
Ready?
Okay, I received this text message at 10:13 this morning, okay? From the Dr. Heavenly Kinds, okay? Shout out to Dr. Heavenly for Married to Medicine, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready to see this text message that I received this morning? It just laid me out. I could not believe it. Hey, love, just a quick reminder. I'm officially announcing my run for State Representative District 93 this Tuesday, July.
Child.
Oh my God. When I tell you laid on the floor at work, I laid on the floor. So listen, if you are in your local Atlanta area, okay, down at the Capitol, at the Capitol Avenue downtown, go down there. And if you would like to support Dr. Heavenly, please feel free to go out and, hold up your signs, get your t-shirts, go support Dr. Heavenly as she runs for representation of the 93rd district. I just...
Well, now you should have told me to get ready. You should have told me to get ready.
Oh my God.
Not your signs and your t-shirts and get ready in the 93rd district. Okay. You know what? Good luck. Good luck.
At this point, I mean, Diva, no shade to Heavenly, no disrespect to anybody. But if Donald Trump can win, hell, everybody.
Why not, right? Why not? Why not? You might as well go for it. Bring your t-shirts, bring your cotton candy, bring whatever, go down there and support. Girl, bye. Listen, I cannot.
Girl,
I cannot and I will not.
I was just like, okay. Listen, Donald Trump was a reality star turned politic, so politician, hey, maybe Heavenly's up to something. Maybe she'll be our first Black president, female. But okay, here we are. We're back again. Sorry, everyone. We are recapping NextGen NYC episode 5. No bucks given. Diva, whoever did these titles.
Child. No, they said. I thought they said $0 given. They said 0.
Yes, $0 given. I was like, these titles are titling.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. They everything. Because they saying Charlie don't be giving up the funds. $0 given.
None. But listen, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start us off.
Yes.
And we'll get into this.
Okay, so as Royaire said, this is season 1, episode 5. And today I am loving this NextGen NYC. It's given everything, okay? It is not no made up shade, so to speak. It is real stuff happening to this group of individuals. So Ava and we still in the club because that's where we left off. Where Ava, apparently said that like she was shocked that Ariana, was going to have like a fashion brand. So she said something to Brooks. Brooks, dropped to carry the bone, told Ariana, and Ariana was like, "Yo, where's she at? Where's Ava? Talking about me and my brand." Well, honey, Ava tried to explain, but Gia jumped in on it. Ariana was sitting there, and she tried to clean it up, but she did a bad job trying to clean it up.
Yeah.
Because when she was trying to clean it up, she just made it even worse. She was like, well, if I think of somebody having a brand, I would think of Georgia, not you. And then G was like, that is so disrespectful. Like, you
like, Jesus caught all of that shade. She caught that right in the palm of the head. Was like, oh, okay.
Child, Brooks was dying because he just couldn't take it. And, you know, and Ava sat there really trying to explain and try to, you know, say how she didn't really mean it that way. But everything that came out her mouth just wasn't working.
Yeah.
It got to the point, Riley got up. Then Brooks got up and started saying happy birthday to his sister Chloe. It was just a mess, right? And she, you know, she said she was claiming about people having style and all this other stuff. Ava was just a bad look for her, right? So it just didn't go well. And like I said, Brooks started saying happy birthday to his sister. Ava went and ordered a drink, and then right after they sung happy birthday, you know, Ariana and Hudson, they left to the building because they, you know, she just had enough. Then they showed this small little snippet scene with Georgia in the street. You know, what's her friend name again? Why do I keep forgetting her friend name? I have it written somewhere else too. But she was out there with her friend who's her business partner in the street, talking about she's going to go to Disney in Florida for her birthday. And, you know, they showed that little street scene. Okay, fine with that. But she's also planning Brooke's mother, Meredith, like event. Because Brooke's mother has this whole caviar line where she has a lot of different things that she does in her business, but she has this caviar line, and Georgia is going to be planning that event. So then they show a little snippet scene with Meredith and Brooks. And Brooks said he's been styling his mother for years. Sometimes she styled herself, but most of the time he styles her. They go to this store and they was talking about the caviar party, you know, about, you know, how she fired Brooks and Brooks got emotional over it. He was like, you know, it's messed up that you fired me. He said, you know, we have a tumultuous relationship. And he said he missed one email about a label for her jeans and she lost it. I really think Brooks and Meredith have the cutest relationship. He has a really good relationship with his parents, and I love it. And I love that we're getting to see it on this level. And I really love him. He's messy, but I think he's a cutie pie. I absolutely love him, but he's work. He low-key work, and he low-key starts the mess that be happening within this group a little bit. But I really do like him. So I'll stop at those three scenes, Royaire.
Okay. The party. You know, one thing that I like about Ariana is that she has no problem standing up for herself, okay? When words need to be spoken, when something needs to be said, especially pertaining to her, she's going to stand on business. So I love that, you know, she's not going around and telling Riley about it and talking to Charlie about, just doing all of this running around. Let's address the situation head on. Ava doesn't need to talk trash because Ava cannot stand on business nor back up anything that she says. You said what you said about Ariana, and when she came and confronted you, you got scared about it. If you're not going to stand on business, don't say it at all. So I just, these more recent episodes, we're really starting to see people for who they are and kind of see, you know, their ways. And I'm not a big fan of Ava. I feel like you're here riding on the coattails of the other cast members, and it's just, I don't see the individuality. I don't see what you're bringing. We haven't been in your home. We just don't know anything that you do. So for you to be trying to talk about Ariana and what she has going on and you have nothing going on, just go take several seats, okay? I love the way that
Daddy is bad with business.
Well, I guess the gene has followed down because she ain't too good with it either, obviously. Gia, I love that Gia, you know, steps in when necessary. I really feel like And if Gia would have been on the bus with the situation with Riley, I feel like she would have stepped up and said something and been supportive of Riley in that situation, because Gia has no problem stepping in and speaking her mind. As you said, basically you're insulting her twice now, talking about you could see Georgia with a fashion line. Girl.
That was so messy.
It was messy, and it was like you trying to cover up for what you said, but now you're making the situation worse. Like, just go have several seats. It was just doing too much. Who was it? Georgia and her friend, that they are in business together. You know, Georgia has truly changed. She's changing my thoughts about her. At the beginning of this season, I wasn't too, keen on my feelings with Georgia, but as the season is flowing, as I see Georgia kind of moving around and making decisions and doing her thing, she's starting to grow on me. So I'm enjoying Georgia. I really, really am.
I'm gonna light up off her too, because so am I. So am I. It's something about her. She's like quirky, but she seems nice and cool, and kind of even tone. She's growing on me too. I'll give you that. Yes, she is.
Yeah, she's definitely growing on. And then Meredith and Brooks, they have a lovely relationship. I love their mother-son relationship. As you said, he has a really good relationship with both of his parents. Yes. But Brooks, I'm gonna need you to boss up, okay? You're just overly sensitive about stuff that would have got you fired in the real world at a real job. Holding up labels isn't something serious. Holding up labels is holding up money, honey, okay? And if Meredith don't eat, I'm pretty sure you don't eat either. So it should be just as pressing for you to focus on Meredith's business as you're trying to focus on your business. I understand that you want to get your business off the ground, so that you can kind of let your mom do her thing and you do your own thing. But right now, priority is getting those labels in so that those jeans can go out. So I need you to step it up, Brooks, and stop being so sensitive. The text message was definitely warranted, and you needed that little shot in the foot, because you got to realize, wake up, sir. Anybody else, they would have fired you. That's a major thing. Like, label hold up, that's how everything goes out. So that was a major mess up. But I really do believe that if Brooks were to be clipped from his wings from his mom and dad, I really do think that he would make good decisions. I think he would be okay. He seems trustworthy enough to do those, to just kind of make it on his own if it ever came to that. But, I love his business mind. I love that he fashions his mom, styles his mom. Like, he just has a really good head on his shoulder. I really, really do enjoy him. But we're going to have to unsoften up so much, sir. We got to put some strength in it, because what she said was really nice compared to what most people hear, okay?
Yeah, I like them. He's a we're gonna give him a chance. He about to turn 25, so we'll give him a chance. Mm-hmm. So the next little scenes, Ariana is making content, because she says she gotta work. She taking care of herself. She put money into her clothing business, right? And then she got to send money to the mamas, okay, and her siblings. So she said while she in New York, she sat on that toilet, she had that phone propped up, and she said, "Get ready with me." She was making content. So, I like Ariana. You know what? If it wasn't for this show, we would never got to see just how well of a job, even though it's messy, that she has done with her daughters. I mean, this girl is an absolute doll face. She's a sweetheart. I really, really do like Ariana a lot. And I'm glad we're getting to see this out of her. Ava also said, "Hey, Jules. Hey, everybody. Hey, Emmanuel. I see you out there. Hey, Tay-Tay." Ava, she's another one. She says she always had to work hard for her money. But, we don't know the mom's business, but we haven't heard her business. So we're going to take it that the mom probably does pretty well with her business, right? Mm-hmm. But dad is bad in business. Mm-hmm. And just even seeing this dad be a part of the show, we'll talk more about that a little bit later. I can't even take him seriously, because I'm like, dude, you don't even have your life together. You know what I'm saying? So, but anywho, so they showed that little snippet. And again, they showed Georgia planning an event for Meredith, and just trying to get all of that together. And I always forget. Oh, Charlie partying, with his roommate, and his roommate said pretty much with those two, like Charlie doesn't have it together. And although he on this show is seeming like an a-hole, I feel bad for him still because he did not have a good representation of parents. You got the polar opposite with Brooks and his parents, where they're so loving, they support him. That's how he was able to grow into something great, into who he is. But then you got Charlie and his parents. You got a dad who will throw money at him, but he's not throwing real true love and support. And you got a mother who was off doing her own thing. It's just, even though he's 30, I still feel for him because he just never seemed to have found his way. And hopefully maybe he will eventually be able to. Now, I hope I got my notes right here in order. Okay, so yeah. So so Ariana and Riley. So our Ariana's at her apartment with Hudson, and they are the freaking cutest couple ever. Okay, I love those two. Yeah. And then Riley stops by, and Ariana is so cute. She keeps calling Riley like her best friend. Like, it's so cute. So Riley comes over, and they kind of talk about, how Ariana felt about Ava, and talking about the clothing line that she's trying to start. And she was like, it really pissed me off. And then Riley low key, she learning how to do this reality thing though too, because she dropped some gems being messy about. Well, Ava got the nerve because she said her mother picks out all her outfits. I was like,
I said, come on, Kandi Burris Jr., okay? Look, Mama Joyce Jr.
I said, woo, come on, Riley. Give the people reality TV. Really, honey. And she sat there and, and so that was a cute scene. And Hudson was trying to cook. They was trying to figure out their life. So, it was a cute scene. Like I said, I like those two together, and I'm glad they got their apartment. And I'm going to add this scene here with Charlie and Ava going to the slutty vegan spot that, is closed right now, but she brought him there to say that her dad, Dame Dash, was asked by the owner of Slutty Vegan, can he take over that spot and kind of run it? And I'm like, well, Slutty Vegan, that particular entrepreneur, she also ran into a problem at one point where she lost her own business. And then she eventually brought it back.
There was something going on with her. Something had happened with that or something. Yeah.
And she eventually brought it back. And my thing is, girl, you asking Dame Dash to help you and to run this spot? I was like, okay, maybe he just did her daughter a favor. Because I told you, listen, I don't have no problem with Ava, but Ava don't have an apartment, and that's why we have yet to see her in her apartment. We don't see her getting ready. Every time we see Ava, she's in the streets. She's walking somewhere. She's going to somewhere. We have yet to see her look in the mirror, her apartment, turn the key, none of that. Okay. So here we go with her in this street scene, going to the Slutty Vegan with Charlie. And then they call Dame Dash talking about, yeah, Charlie, can you get the liquor license? And we going to turn this into something. And he talking about he could ask his dad for $30K. And I was just like, okay, that's interesting. But, and then he also is sweating Georgia for this speaker. And I'm like, yo, listen. I do believe when you lend somebody something, they should give it back for a year. But I'm not going to keep sweating you 24/7 over no speaker. I mean, he was calling her for this speaker, and he got the nerve because according to the streets, he owe everybody money and don't be paying no bills. And you sweating somebody over a speaker. I was just like, I cannot. I guess I'll go ahead and throw in this other scene too, Royaire, if you want me to. I'll throw in this other scene. Georgia and Omar, her boyfriend, they go have a little lunch, right? He tells her he loves her. And she was like, and even though it's only been 2 months, and she was like, you said it to the last person after the day. Yeah, they was cute though there. And then she told him about the event space and what she's doing for Meredith, and how the other event space, they had an eviction notice on it. Child, but I you caught earlier when she was telling the partner, she was like, "Oh, they just gonna give us the place for free because they like Meredith." Well, that's why, because they knew they was gonna be evicted. Like, I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." But she was like, I handled it real quick. I got everything, together, whatever the case may be. I fixed it. And Meredith had stopped by, like they showed in the midst of that scene, like Meredith came and she had to let Meredith know. She said, you see the sign on there said eviction notice. And Meredith was like, what am I going to do with 2 kilos of caviar? She's like, we could give it to the homeless. I'm like, yo. So anyway, she found a different spot. She worked it out, and she also told us why she has trust issues, and I get it. So her dad and the mom have built a company together. The dad squandered away the money and then just left them broke. Yeah. So I get where her trust issues come from. Yeah, Charlie was going crazy about that speaker. Yo, it was bananas. It was bananas. Every time he turned around, he was calling her about that speaker. Like, give me a break with that, okay? So yeah, so those were those scenes. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so we talked about Ariana being at her apartment with Riley and Hudson.
Yes.
Now, I did not particularly care for Riley's comment about Gia stepping into situations, because I really do feel that Riley would have wanted someone to be there to support her when that whole situation was going on the bus. So I didn't care for that comment, but okay. At the same token, Ariana can still definitely hold her own. So I definitely see kind of both sides of that stick, if you may. The mom still dressing Ava comment was top tier. Shade. Riley, you did that.
She did that.
Yeah, Riley.
She did that. And she did it so calmly too. Like, wow.
I don't understand why she's talking her trash, because her mom still dresses her according to what she says all the time. I said, you gotta clock that, T. Riley. Yes, but that was super cute. I do enjoy that Riley and Ariana have really just made this reconnection. And though the relationship may not be the same as when they were kids, it's like rekindled in a beautiful way. And I just love that they have been able to rekindle. It's not always easy reconnecting with people from childhood relationships, because you just changed over the years. So you don't know how people view things and what they're like. And just the fact that they've been able to reconnect and it be in such a positive way is beautiful. I love that Hudson is very supportive of this friendship from what we see. I mean, they just seem like a cute little throuple, just like a little cute threesome. Like, they're so super cute, a nice couple, and then a little friend to add in on the end. It's just super, super cute. So I love that scene. They are all definitely doing reality TV. I
think it works really quick, Rhea. I think it works because Ariana just has a great personality overall.
Yeah.
And so does Riley.
Riley does too. And Riley, too. I mean, Hudson they all agree. They just
like laid back.
Yes, right. As far as their ages, they are very mature. They're very, considerate of others. Like, you would think normally people that come from their lifestyles, they're very selfish, not, very kind people, but their parents have done a good job, and what their parents didn't do, they have obviously done the work to do. So I just love that they are just doing so well. Charlie and Ava. I know, Auntie, that you have given Charlie grace, because of his childhood growing up and his parenting situation. But Charlie's grace has gone out the window for me.
Oh, my.
I am going to read Charlie down like it's nobody's business.
Oh, my.
Because you're 30 years old, sir. At what stage and age are we going to grow up? You have a master's in hospitality, sir. You are being given an opportunity to work in a restaurant, but I wouldn't even give him the opportunity because he's so nasty, disrespectful, and rude. He doesn't know how to treat people. You don't know how to, serve people. It's just this arrogancy that he carries in himself. To be so broke, it's ridiculous. You owe money to people. You owe money to your daddy, and then you still going back to call and ask for loans. As we seen at the bottom of the screen, it is $35,000 to get a liquor license. You can't pay the little $4,000 back to your friend Dylan that you owe. You asking your dad for $35,000, and then when dad Googles this business and see that it's a failed business, you think he's gonna give you $35,000 for a liquor license? And then you're getting in business with Ava, who has no home, no car, no food, like, what are we doing here? It was a mess of a scene. You know, Ava obviously is not into this restaurant idea. Ava doesn't look like she knows how to do any real work. What are we doing? Dame Dash talking about we don't worry, we just let be what's gonna be. I see why we don't worry. Look at your life. Obviously, you ain't been worrying and caring about too much. It was a shameful scene. It was really, really sad. I just couldn't understand what we were doing here. Charlie is not gonna do any work. He can't give you any money. Why are we wasting our time? Georgia and her boyfriend Omar. Georgia, as I have said earlier, she has truly changed my thoughts about her, okay? The fact that Georgia was able to figure out this location situation with the whole eviction notice, I mean, it really blew my mind, because the Georgia that I met at the beginning of this season, I wouldn't think that she would be able to figure out such a situation. I mean, it just was like, okay, Georgia, she about something. She's got something going on. I love that she takes her business serious. She was serious about working with Meredith to make sure that she found another location. Though it was a little jokey joke, you know, moment, but she still followed through as a businesswoman and handled her business. And obviously, as we see later on in the scene, Meredith was very satisfied with how things went down. The event came together very well. So shout out to Georgia. Like, I came in hot and hard on Georgia, but I'm gonna have to lift my foot up off her neck because she did her thing today. I
lift mine too. I lift mine too.
Okay. I also love that Georgia is very, I'm going to use the word wholesome. That may not be the word, but wholesome in her dating. She talked about in this dating, you know, she has not dated anyone else while she's dating Omar. And it's just because that's just something that she can't do. And Diva, we don't see a lot now anymore that people really take dating serious. Most people just kind of be out here just dating everybody, doing everything, you know, and the fact that she's really taking the time to honestly get to know this man, the fact that you can point out that, you know, you already said you told somebody that you love them, and, you know, one day after meeting them, how do I know this is serious? She's seeing the real, I don't want to say red flags, but red flags, if you may, you know, because of the things that she's gone through as well. So it just, Georgia just really, she brought some light to my eyes in this episode about her. I was like, okay, she's not as dingy as she played to be. You know, she got no kind of there somewhere.
Oh, God. No, you know what, though? I know what you're saying, because I fell in love with her, too.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, my God. And Omar seems to be a really good guy as well. You know, he definitely, I don't want to use the word desperate, but comes off a little too desirable, I guess. I don't know. I mean, to have just fallen in love with somebody, didn't fall out, and to fall in love with somebody else, I was just like, this is a lot. But, you know, I'm interested to see where it goes. They have definitely drawn in my attention on this relationship. So we'll see.
We shall see. We shall see. But I'm here. Like you said, though, I am definitely here for Georgia. I changed on her. I changed.
Yeah, her. She did her job. Good job.
She grew on me. Mm-hmm. So Meredith and her husband Seth, you know, Charlie calls Georgia about the speaker. So this is an event. Everybody's at this event. And I mean, darn near everybody came. You know, Teresa Giudice was there, Gia was there, Myra was there, Dylan was there, Brooks was there, Riley was there, Hudson was there, Ariana was there. So everybody pretty much showed up, and they was kind of, and it was pouring raining that day.
It was.
Yeah, it was. And they
had a great turnout though for a raining day though.
They had a really great turnout for a rainy day. It was a good event. Georgia did her thing, and they was kind of getting on Ava because Ava, Ava got there late. But also, what was I going to tell you? Charlie called Georgia again about this on speaker. And she was like, yo, Meredith is here. I'm trying to do this in bed. And she was like, aren't you coming? She was like, aren't you coming? She said, so it was just crazy how, he was going to do that. And now I guess it's get on Ava. Because in her confessional, Gia was like, oh, I come to places late, but that was ridiculous. I had never had an interest in caviar. So I was just like,
Eva, I love it. Oh,
really?
Let me tell you, a good saltine cracker or a good potato chip, girl.
Oh, yeah.
Potato chip, I would go to heaven straight.
Yeah, I just never was interested. It ain't my thing. I'm like,
I've had it with cucumber before. It was
really?
Oh my God.
Listen. Okay, so you bougie. You like your caviar. And then
places.
Yes. And Teresa is so petty. Teresa Judice. Not you want to follow Ava and then unfollow her.
I said, come on, Real Housewife, you better.
Petty. And so when Ava did arrive, she kind of told Brooks that, I fixed everything with Ariana. I kind of texted her and was like, we text back and forth and everything's good. And Ariana said she ain't gonna hold no grudge, but she still ain't really good, and that is what it is. This was the cutest scene. Excuse me. Riley meets up with her mom and with Todd, stepdad Todd, and her brother and sister. And they meet up and they kind of talk, and then Ariana comes and she's a doll face. She was like, oh, I'm so happy. And she sounded like her mother when she was like, when she went and spoke to Kandi and like hugged Kandi, she sounded just like Kim to me. But Ariana shows up and she said the best thing about being in New York is Riley. She said she's my best friend. And she said, I know you hate when I hug you, but she hugged her anyway. It was just, she's a cutie pie. That scene was so cute. But honey, when Riley said like it wasn't nothing, that half of her bill for that box club was $7,000, and she's talking about I paid for it. She said on a credit card, I pay. Yo, she said you got too much free money on your hand.
Yeah, she like to get up and slap that girl.
Yeah. Honey, she out there living her best life. You just bought $7K from one night at a club, and all them other people there. Why was it only seem like two people split the bill?
Hey, yeah.
I think that was unfair. And so, then the later on scene, what's the name asked, oh, did Riley pay?
We gonna talk, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. That ticked me off.
Oh, girl, that's why I said I don't have no grace for Charlie, none. But it wasn't
all. Charlie who said that.
But Charlie was in agreement with it, and you don't need to be in agreement with nobody, especially when you owe money to people, sir. You shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth.
Question Riley about what she does. Who are you to question somebody about what they do, and you don't do nothing? You better sit down somewhere, Charlie.
Exactly. So she said, you're gonna have to figure out your finances. Kandi was like a DJ. Her face was like, she said, ever since she said we had a plan. Ever since you was little, you talked about being a lawyer. Now you come with me with this DJ stuff. So
ain't her baby daddy a DJ?
Tom?
Riley's dad. Ain't he a DJ?
Oh.
So this is Turner Kandi.
Okay, we gotta look it up. Oh my God.
Like that. He works in the music industry as well because they was talking about, yeah. This is Turner Kandi all the way up. So first of all, you spending my good earned money on a man who was just talking about you the other day on the bus. Trying to do all, and I really feel like that's really why Kandi was mad about the bill thing, because you're spending money on somebody who just disrespected you the other day, and they're gonna tell them you don't want their money. Yes, we do. We want every coin. She need to send that receipt on to Charlie and his friends and get her money back.
That part. So wow. So that was crazy to me. Then they showed this little snippet of Charlie.
Her dad is a DJ. That's what I thought. Block. So
Well, honey, when you dropping 7K on one night at a party, baby girl, you not only going to need to go to law school, you're going to have to be one of them high power lawyers. You're going to have to be taking cases like the Diddy case.
She going to have to call Phaedra.
Yeah, she going to have to call Phaedra. Wait,
Meredith is an attorney too, so she can reach out to Meredith.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Another one of her mother's arch enemies, but she need to do something because, honey, you ain't gonna be living this best life off of no DJ salary. Because Kandi was like, we said 6 months. And you know, Kandi. One thing about Kandi, she don't play too much with that money. Because Kandi don't even really spend money like that.
No.
We're gonna see how this goes, Riley. We're rooting for you, though.
We're all rooting for you.
Child, listen. So they show a scene with Charlie on the phone asking, but can you just add it to my 5K loan he owes whoever he was talking to? Meets up with the roommate. They started talking, sitting down. I noticed though, all he ordered was some grapefruit juice. Because he ain't got no money.
I wait on him to swipe these cards one of these times and it declined. That's what I really
Child. And his friend got the chicken fingers and the fries. And, you know, he was saying Charlie needs goals. And, you know, they talked about, this is where they talked about the whole Riley thing, right? And it sicked me off. I was real turned off. I was turned up at home, Royaire. I was pissed. Because I'm like, why does she have to pay 7K of a 14K bill? And see, Todd was trying to think, was it 1,400?
No, 14K that Charlie invited people to.
Yeah.
So I want to say that this was after the Brooklyn night.
It was. I feel like it was. I feel like it was.
Hosted the Brooklyn night that you invited people to that you didn't introduce to her when she bought the section, because Riley told us that she brought the section to Brooklyn night. Now we're splitting the bill to go to somewhere, and you didn't even pay your part, but you still inviting people into the section. We have a problem.
Yeah, I didn't like that, Roy. It pissed me off. It pissed me off big time. I was really turned off with that. So we'll stop there and you talk about
because I want to say that she was having that conversation with Ariana as well when they talked about Ava and her mama dressing her. I want to say she told, you know, Ariana and Hudson that he owes other people money as well and owes her money. Yeah. Was a part of their conversation.
I want to say so too, yeah.
But Meredith's event turned out really good. Super proud of Georgia and her business partner. They did an excellent job. The people were there. There was, you know, the platter was there with the caviar. The music seemed like it was people really seemed like they were enjoying themselves, especially for a rainy day. Now, Diva, you know the people don't like to come out in the rain, okay? But the people showed up and they did their thing, and I thought it was a really nice event. You know what? I'm so over Seth. Somebody might need to just let Seth out the closet, okay? Seth knows how to come in and just ruin a whole moment. Now, you know, one of the friends came up to tell Meredith thank you for inviting him and you know, all of that. And Seth want to have this conversation yet again about sexuality and being open to other partners and other people and all of this. And Meredith is like, shut up. What are you doing? Yes, Seth, shut up.
You're doing too much.
You're doing too much. You're doing way too much. You're trying to fit into this box. I don't know if there's something going on underneath that Seth want to come out. I don't know. But Seth, you need to figure that out off camera. Let's work that out on Housewives with you and your wife. Just stop. Like, it was just very uncomfortable watching this grown man question this young man who came to thank you for inviting him to his event about his sexuality and who he likes and what he likes to do. Stop.
Yeah, it was too much.
It was just way too much. You know, this whole speaker situation with Georgia and Charlie. Now, at first, when I first watched the episode, right? I was like, dang, like Georgia is really like kind of a little nasty about this speaker. Like, I mean, you did kind of borrow the speaker from this man, and it has been a while. But then as the episode progresses, it changed my thoughts, and we'll talk about that scene momentarily, about how I felt about the speaker issue. Because, I mean, sir, it's a freaking speaker. And you love to walk around telling us how you are a trust fund baby and your daddy pays your bills and you can buy and do whatever you want to do. So what would be the big deal to go out and buy another speaker? If you need a speaker that desperately bad, go get you another one. She will get you. Or how about you pull up on her when she's home and you get what you want if you are just in that desperate of a need for this speaker. I mean, I understand that she borrowed this from you, but the way that you're going about this, you don't work, you don't make money, you don't do anything but skateboard all day. So why couldn't you skateboard on down to Georgia and get your speaker? Charlie just really agitates me just throughout this whole series.
He's too much.
He's too much. Kandi and Riley, I love their scene. And Todd, shout out to Todd. We love you, Todd, because it's always a scene that Todd set up for the bull.
Now we love you, Todd.
It's always the scene that Todd set us up for the bull, okay? Always. But I thought it was super cute, you know, to finally see Kandi, you know, on the screen with Riley as a grown adult. You know, I definitely believe, Riley, if you're going to be out here spending $7,000 bills, you need to be on your own payments, okay?
Yeah.
Your coin. Yeah. If you got $7,000 to blow, you got time to get a job, okay? So we need to figure that out as well. I would love to see Riley go to law school. I feel like she has the perfect, you know, mind for it. She seems she is very smart, very, you know, intuitive, and I just feel like she would enjoy that field. She just looks like that kind of girl to me. Just a very boss, powerful woman, just like her mom. So I could totally see that. You know, Kandi talking about Riley's hair, I was like, yeah, Riley, we should have did something with the hair. But then at the same token, I love when the people just rock their natural hair, because sometimes I do it too. So
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I was like, look, I rock mine.
You know what? She's so darn cute. She could just get away with it.
Oh, and she is so cute. She is.
She's a doll face, beautiful complexion. Yeah, she could get away with it. Now, me, I would have been on the screen looking a whole hot mess. Girl. No, you can do it though. Come on, do it. I ain't mad at you.
But I love the connection that Ariana and Riley have, as I said earlier, that they've reconnected. That was super cute. I love when non-affectionate people have friendships with affectionate people and they just be like to love them and touch them. Like, it's super cute. I kind of have a friend like she loves to hug and touch, and I'd be like, girl, get off of me. But I really love it. It's super dope. It's super cute.
Oh, God.
What else was I gonna say? The way Ariana addressed Kandi, I was like, okay, like, I don't, you know, these people are so different. Like, you know, growing up, it's just the way that our generations have changed, you know, like when I grew up, Diva, and I'm sure it was kind of the same to you, it was always Mr. and Mrs. Hey, how are you? You know, like, not this damn girl. I ain't seen you in a long time. I was like, I said she is truly her mother's daughter, okay? She is truly her mother's daughter. But I thought it was super cute, you know, Todd being in the scene, he adding in his little 2 cents, like, girl, now who was this boy that you not getting along with? I said, you better clock in.
You know, Todd for sure know how to do TV now.
It's always a scheme that Todd set up for the book. It's always a scheme. Todd set the scheme up, okay? He had to bring in Charlie. I said, okay. But yes, I think Kandi was more so ticked that Charlie and his groupies did not pay their part of the bill. And I would have been too. Like, girl, it better not be on my card. This young man that just disrespected us. Like, girl, get yourself together. So that was a nice scene. And then, you know, this Charlie and Dylan scene, let me tell you something. I struggle with people that support BS. Dylan, and I know we don't talk like this, Diva, so forgive me, but it's giving punk. The fact that you sit up here and let Charlie continue to borrow money from you. You support him not having a job. You support his foolery, his behavior, the things that he says. You're the problem. You're the reason why, a part of the reason why Charlie is the way he is. You are supporting the foolishness the misbehavior. You get in these confessionals and you say that he needs to grow up and mature and all of these things. We're in these same conversations at this table right now that we're sitting at. This man owes you $4,000. You sit up here and talk trash about Riley with this fool? Somebody that owe you money?
That part.
So you just as foolish as Charlie. So I don't have nothing for you.
Yeah.
That whole scene was just trash. I was just like, two guys, like, Diva, I have problem with men, and I'm just really trying to work through that. Like, they just do and say the most stupid stuff that makes no sense. Like, who are you to question this young lady who has graduated from NYC and who is currently going, because she did decide to go to law school. We did find out that update. Who is going to law school. And what are you doing with your life? And you're 30. Riley just turned 22. Right. You're 30. You still have not dealt with your childhood issues. As Riley told us earlier in the season, all of our parents have done something to us. All of our parents have failed in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
But some part in your life where you got to pick up those pieces and do the work to mend those situations and those hearts. You're 30. At what age are we going to do those things? Because what we don't want you to do is get grown like Kenya and still be doing the stupid stuff that she's doing. Or we don't want you to get grown like Donald Trump and do the foolishness that he do. It's pitiful. It's sad. It's a disgrace. And I understand why your dad keeps you away, because I wouldn't want to be around somebody that's not even trying to do anything either. Granted, his dad is not perfect by any means. And maybe his dad did the best that he could with what he had, right? Because every parent can't always do the best. Maybe his parents did the best of what they could do. When are you going to pick up and pick up that torch and move forward? Maybe dad would be a little bit more pleasing and proud if you would try to do something. Charlie's not even trying. Dad tried to have a conversation with him about his 30th birthday. What do you plan to do with your 30s? Oh, I don't want to talk about it. What you mean you don't want to talk about it? I'm paying your bills. If I'm paying your bills, I need some answers. You better be 30, a grown 30-year-old Diva who don't pay no bills, have no job, no morals, no values, and disrespect people, including the people that's paying your way. We got a
problem. He turned me off, but but hold tight, because it got worse with him, right? It got worse with him. I was like,
I thought it was bad with Riley. I said, oh,
hell. Okay. So there was this little dinner where it was Amira. It was the whole crew. It was the whole crew except Charlie pretty much was there at this dinner. It was two people that they was new, because it was like another black girl on the end. Did you see her? Did you notice her? It was like this black girl. I was like, is that Riley's friend? Who is she?
I did see her. I thought it was Riley's friend.
Yeah, that's the assumption I made.
And she brought a gentleman a couple of episodes ago to the first party that they did. He was like a guy. So maybe she just kind of, she needs her support. And I understand, she is the only woman, black person, not to make it about that, but it's nice to have someone that looks like you there to support you. So so they had this dinner, and everybody was pretty much, the conversation ended up turning into how Georgia talked about how Charlie was doing her with this speaker, but they all talked about pretty much how he never pays, and he's always talking about he's gonna pay somebody back, or he'll Zelle you, or he'll PayPal you, or he'll Cash App you, and he really don't. Now, Georgia did say that she was doing that to her at first, but then he would give a date on which he would pay it back. And she said he did. I will give her that. She said he did. But, we have seen with other people that he's not really giving back that money. So he's messy boots. And, they kind of talked about that, and they all was a little bit shocked. And that's when, we learned that Brooks was turning 25, that actually Amira is the oldest one in the group.
because I think she might be already 30 or whatever the case may be.
She's 27. She's 27.
Oh, is she 27?
I thought that's what she said. Because at first they said 22, and she was like, "No, I'm 27." And then, because they were fighting about Brooks or Charlie saying that he wasn't the oldest in the group, and Amari said he's older than me, and she was like, he'll be 30, and she said, "Well, I'll be 27 this year."
Then she went wink, wink. I think she's older than him. I think she's already 30. I think she's already 30. Because they was like, oh, it's because they had said Charlie was right or something like that. But either way, she looks good. She's beautiful. But, they had that discussion, right? And then, Charlie's roommate said that all Charlie does is skateboards. Or no, was that his roommate? Or is that what, no, that's what Georgia said. All he does is skateboard, smoke weed, go to party, and he gets his allowance from his dad. It was between his roommate and Georgia who said that. So that was that little scene. So, but the last scene is where the killer comes in, Royaire, where he meets up with Georgia and her entertainment business partner, Danny. And, Charlie comes and he stops by and he pretty much, he blacks out on Georgia. Like, he's still mad at her over this speaker, which I think is the most silliest thing in the world. So he's still mad at her about this whole speaker thing. And she was like, "Why are you still mad? You got your speaker back. Like, what is the big deal?" And he was like, yeah. He said, "But I don't like the way you did it. I don't like the way you moving." And he told her about, him and Ava perhaps, doing this, little nightclub at the Slutty Vegan business or whatever. And she was like, "Well, why didn't you bring me into that?" She said, "Why didn't you bring us in? This is what we do." And that's when he was like, "I'm regretting. I don't want to bring you. I'm regretting bringing you into things lately anyway." And she was like, "Wow, then so mom, I'm regretting it too." And then that's when he just literally blacked out. Called her a bitch, said he would slap her, she was a man. And then she got, she had to go gut on him too. And it's like, you wouldn't be nothing if you didn't get your allowance from your dad. And he told her you wouldn't even be on this show if it wasn't for me. And I was like, I think it's always sad in this low brow when the people want to go that you got this opportunity because of me, so to speak. I hate when people do that. I think it's so wrong, but we have seen that go down time and time again where the people do that, and it's just messy.
Yeah. Nothing really too much happened in that scene with the group, so I don't have any comments on that. This last scene, it really confirmed what I said at the beginning of this season when we first started recapping this show about Charlie. Just he's problematic. He's problematic. As soon as you don't get your way, you act like a child, like a complete child. You go out. You have no kindness in general. So when you get like this, you just a complete, excuse my French, an asshole. That's really what it is. You completely disrespected this young lady who has pretty much been your only friend holding you up on the show outside of Ava, because even Ava threw you down to the side for a moment.
And she said in that scene, "Everybody hates you."
Everybody hates you.
Good God, not everybody hates Chris.
This girl homeless.
Woo!
When she was staying with you, maybe you were helping her, maybe you wasn't, whatever the situation may be. But to call her homeless, to disrespect her and say that you would slap her if she was a man, to call her a bitch, she came in with joy in her heart. She got her business credit card. She was sharing great news with you. You got your speaker back, what you wanted. What's your beef with this lady? What's your problem? You mad because she out here actually doing something with her life while you're sitting around collecting debt and possibly getting cut off at any moment? Because remember, collecting it like Kim Zolciak and Corey Bierman.
Oh my God.
The very people that you was talking about earlier this season. The Brokies. Okay. I just like how it was just disgusting. Georgia did not deserve it. I was just done. I was just completely done. And at that point, Diva, and that's when I really said, I don't have no grace for this man. At that point, I can no longer blame your mother and father for whatever mistakes that they did, because you just went out on the limb and just completely desecrated someone who has been here to support you, who has been here for you. She didn't out how much money your dad pays you. She didn't out how you live, you know. And really, we should put a hand clap together for her being able to stay with you as nasty as you are. Because as we've seen on Bravo, all you do is roll blunts all day and leave your trash around for somebody to pick up for you. Oh no, I told you I was gonna get Charlie together tonight, and I meant that. He's a horrible, low down, dirty individual. Just nasty.
Nasty.
With no sense of kindness to anyone. Nobody. You got a father that's still taking care of you, paying your bills.
You know, Juice, I never thought about this, but you might have hit a nail on the head. He's jealous of Riley.
Well, as we have already been told, he does not like the housewives' children because he feels like they don't deserve to be there. He has already told that us. But as Andy Cohen said, the only reason the show got lit was because of the housewife children. Who was going to come and sit up here and watch your foolishness by yourself?
Ooh, child.
So to have all of this arrogance and all of this, you know, macho, here I am, bang my chest, hear me roar, for somebody that don't do nothing but smoke and leave trash around all day. Go down to, what's y'all local stadium in New York, Diva? What's y'all local stadium?
What do you mean?
Whatever play ball stadium they do stuff at.
Yankee Stadium?
Go down to the Yankee Stadium and take your time sitting in every seat in the field and just think about it. Because you obviously need several seats to sit down in. And you need some time to think because you don't have no plan for your life. You're 30 years old. You still living off daddy and worrying about your daddy issues instead of possibly using that money to go get some therapy to get your life together. You got a degree in hospitality. How about you learn how to treat and respect people and get you a nice little decent job somewhere? You have a master's in hospitality. Those are jobs that don't go away. Those are jobs that are always hiring because people need help. It was the ignorance for me, the complete ignorance, the disrespect. He has no respect for women, obviously, as we've seen. None.
Well, before we continue and close out the show, you know, there have been a lot of urban rumors on the street about how Whitney Houston departed this world and who gave her the last substances that made her OD. You know, I don't know how he does it, but Suge Knight got more privileges in these streets than some people got in the free world. Because he forever doing a podcast. If you could share a screen, Royaire. We got to listen to this. Oh, wait, why is my voice? Suge Knight refers to Ray J as the drug man and claims he allegedly sold to Cassie and Whitney the night she passed away. There was sound.
It's a little bit further down. You see,
They said that Ray J was the drug man for Cassie drugs, Capricorn drugs. Puffy Keys is talking. Everybody talking. Ray J, you the drug hookup man too. You bring the drugs. Now, nobody on the West Coast know that the last person was with the best fucking singer in the whole wide world. You did with Whitney. You did what you're giving her. Telling her what you're giving her. She winds up dead, and we lost dead.
In the last 6 weeks, Van Horn Law Group.
Ciao. Now wait, let me play this one.
It was cool with First off, even Ray J. All of a sudden, Ray J was talking super bad about it to the point where his sons wanted to beat him up. Then when people started finding out that Puffy was going to go home, and everybody started talking super good about it, right? But I'm not here to put Puffy down, and that won't make him a more of a man to put him down. So it's good he's not going to die in prison. The one thing you got to realize is that they never in life, prosecution would never go after Puffy the right way and make Rico stick. You talking about the government. You talking about the FBI. They got their hands on everything. Every video, every camera on the streets. They talk about all the people. And look how it ends up. To go after somebody with Rico, first of all, there's no statute on Rico. So you can go far as back as you want to. And this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. The government owes Puffy favors. Puffy don't owe them favors. Because when you really look at it, if you wanted to really get Puffy for Rico, we could talk about this now because the case is over. But the Rico part is this. They would have started with the things that have been everywhere. I didn't learn about all this till a lot of people got involved and told me about Corey. At the same time, Puffy's company, according to the people and everyone else, it was started with drug money. I got jammed up, and mine was not started with drug money. Puffy partner, and I learned every piece of this by being in prison, but they people and the lawyers. His partner at the jail.
Listen, he got more phone privileges. How should get so many phone privileges? Child, Benita, he get more phone privileges than some of these people in the free world. He can just run his mouth and say whatever he wants from that jail cell. But you know what? Many people have been saying forever that Ray J was the dealer on the streets, allegedly slinging it everywhere. But they always connected him to that Whitney Houston situation. But I will say this: that this is what's unfortunate. If Whitney didn't get it from him, she would have got it from somebody. Because when you on it bad, you on it bad.
You got it bad. I never even thought about that. Wow. Not Diddy. I mean, not Ray J out here passing out the drugs allegedly to people.
Well, that's why they said the mother and the sister got real problems with him. It's, you know, it's not really because of his crash outs or all of that. It's because of what he's doing in these streets that I don't approve of. Because, you know, Ray J mother, because she was their manager for a long time. She was even emotional when what's her name? What's his sister name?
Brandy.
Brandy got emotional when Brandy got pregnant because she didn't want it out there that Brandy was pregnant and not married. So remember they did that reality show for a minute with that guy that she was pregnant by, knowing that guy didn't want her because he was still with somebody else, and they kind of did that reality show and they had the baby shot, all that. Yeah, that was her mother orchestrated that because she didn't want it out there that Brandy was single and pregnant. But you know, it is what it is. Stuff happens. Get over it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, people make decisions.
People make mistakes.
They do, and you know, they have to answer for those things. That is not up to you to answer for as a parent.
Right. And it's going to be okay.
And it's going to be okay. And see, and look, so, and it goes back to Charlie. Look, his parents did things. They fell short, you know, and they weren't there. Ray J's parents were there. And he still fell short.
Well,
either of these young men have chose to do anything about it. They ain't chose to pick up the pieces of their life or nothing.
Well, I ain't gonna fight you on that.
I tell people all the time, just because, you know, you come from a 2-parent household, your parents can be together and everything, don't mean you're gonna turn out as well as you think you would. Sometimes it be the people that come from the single-parent homes that be the best people.
Yeah, well, I got no fight in me on that for you. But you know,
have parents that turn out to be the best people.
Well, that's true. That's true. Well, listen, in terms of this NextGen NYC and this episode, what was it, 5 here? I'm in love with this show. I love it. I love the dynamics of the younger group. I love seeing a fresh, young perspective because they're not trying to, and they're vanilla in a sense when it comes to reality TV. They're not trying to manufacture drama. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just their natural stuff. because listen, Ariana was pissed. She was like, I want Ava with the B.
I want
Ava.
Ava. I was like, yes, you better go through.
And you know, I mean, you gotta love her. You gotta love her. Because she said it with her right there in the spot. In the spot. And listen, and she low-key gangster, because when she came out the bathroom, she came and sat right next to Ava, like, yo, what's up?
What's
and
good?
Then her girl Gia sat right next to her. Yo.
Post it up. I'm ready, okay? Gia said if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And Gia was...
She was like, no, you being messy right now. She said, wow, you're disrespecting her. I was like... Ooh, child. That thing was epic, okay? Epic. Yeah. So I love it. So if I had to rate this episode, Royaire, I'm going to rate it. What am I giving this? I'm going to give it a 9. And I'm going to tell you why I'm giving it a 9. I'm giving it a 9 because Ariana stood on business, okay? Ariana stood on business, okay? She didn't wait till later on and started having side conversations with people. As soon as she heard it, she said, where's she at?
Right now. Look, what contestant say? Square up, ho!
You know what, Mocha? You know what? I'm going to do that with you. I'm going to up it. I'm giving this episode a 9.5. I like the, Georgia. She didn't back down from Charlie. She was like, yo, did you say you were going to slap me? Mm. No, I said if you was a man, I would slap. I was like, wow. She stood on business in his face too. The girls are standing on business in this show. Yes, give it up. They stand on business in this show. Because she stood in his face too. She was like, yo, where would you be if you didn't get your $10,000 allowance?
We're not letting the disrespect happen. Them days are gone.
So it was a lot of good scenes. I love the scene with Kandi, Ariana, and Riley. This show is giving. It's giving us life. It's giving us a fresh take on reality. I love it. And like Mocha, I'm upping my score to a 9.5. What about you, Royaire?
Yes, listen, we are giving our final thoughts and opinions, so please leave your ratings in below on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. What are you rating episode 5 for NextGen NYC? Leave those down below. To me, this was a 10. This was a stand on business 10. I mean, everybody is standing on business. Everybody is carrying their load. There's nobody that's not doing what needs to be done. Even with Gia is not really a part of the show, but when she shows up, she does what needs to be done, okay? She hosted a beautiful event at her home a couple weeks ago, and now here she is again, standing in the paint with Ariana when it came to this Ava situation. The Kandi, the Burris family, the Tucker family has come together, and that was a beautiful scene. I love the conversation with Georgia and her business venture going on. I mean, even though the conversation was horrible at the end with Georgia and Charlie, it was great TV. It was excellent TV, the way that it was handled. He got low and Georgia went right on down there with him and she gave him the business. So this was a 10 for me. I truly enjoyed this episode. I was just like, wow. They doing their thing.
I loved it.
So yes, those were my thoughts. It was a 10. K Mocha, as she said, she's giving it a 9.5. Raheem is giving it a 9. Juice is giving it a 8. You said it right the first time, Royaire, the Burris. Y'all gonna put some respect on Ty's name.
Y'all wrong for that. Right here, you always be coming through with some mess. You come on, don't do that to Ty. What's Ty's last name?
Tucker.
That's
You
right.
ought to be ashamed. You're supposed to be a Kandi. Shout out to Todd Tucker. We got to do a whole special on Todd Tucker because y'all gonna stop disrespecting Todd
My
Tucker.
stomach hurt. My stomach hurt. Come on, that's the Tucker family. Don't do that. That's why he like. That's what he said. That's why he liked to be in New York anyway. Period. Because he said in New York they know him.
No, he Kandi husband.
He said in Atlanta he's Kandi's husband. In New York he's Todd.
And Riley is Kandi's daughter. They tired of Kandi.
Child. And honey, Riley living her best life. You don't spend $7,000 on the credit card like it wasn't nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
But Kandi, you don't look at the bill. She said that's on the bill I pay. Child. This show is giving. Okay?
It is so good. I have truly enjoyed it so much, Diva. They got to come back for season 2. It's just been that good.
Yes, it has.
And I think everybody needs to come back, even though I don't like Charlie, because Charlie, he keeps that controversy.
He needs to come back. You know what?
Yeah.
We gotta give him an opportunity because everybody has not come from a perfect family. Now, I will say this for you. I don't like the way he talked to Georgia. I don't like the way he talked to Georgia because you meant me to can't either. But you know what? You meant that. So now we know though he's not. It doesn't got nothing to do with racist. He's just a jerk.
Yes, he's a butthole.
He's a bum. Yeah. And so, but see, he cleaned it up because she's a female. I think he cleaned it up, but he meant what he meant. He would have slapped the piss out of her if that wasn't on TV. You see, he took that mic off. You see, he took the mic off. And you see how he looked at the camera guy and was like, "Yo," he looked at the camera guy like, "Yo, you want this? Because I'm out." And then, but he still follow him on the skateboard. They still follow him.
So it did. Listen, it's giving Miss Ed, because the next time you talk to me like that, I'm gonna slap the piss out.
Yeah, he was mad because he felt like I gave you this opportunity. How dare you turn on me? That's what it felt like, and it was terrible.
Yes,
it was terrible. It was terrible.
It was a lot.
I
want to talk about a few things before we dip out. Just real quick. Humble brag, Cynthia and Crystal's YouTube show.
Okay.
Nene made an appearance this episode. Okay.
What up?
And she shared with us that unfortunately Brent is back in the hospital. Brent's heart has been it's been rejecting from share screen. Let's take a look. Give me 1 second.
Take a look. Oh.
I felt like I was a friend one season.
You was?
Yeah, remember the season where we went to?
I feel like
I want to say Phaedra, Kim, Fields in Jamaica. We were in Jamaica.
You were not a friend. You were.
I was a friend.
Holding a peach and all.
I can't
of the
remember.
promos. Nina, you were never a friend of the damn show.
I thought I was a friend one time.
Well, you thought wrong.
Okay.
You were never a friend.
Honest to God, listen. Let me see.
You were never a friend.
I'm not mad at the friend role.
Okay.
I just think if I just answering your question, if I were to ever step back on that platform and would I be a friend, I really kind of feel like, I don't know, that I would be a friend.
Well,
I would have to look at it kind of like, I like the friend role. I like the capacity. I don't have a problem with it at all. But I just would think
the friend role has evolved over the years.
Yeah, I like the friend role.
I
don't have a problem with it at all. But I just would think, Nene, season 1, the first housewife, and I'm a friend.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. This is where it works for me, for someone that came on season 3. I enjoy that I don't have to bring my family on the show.
Okay.
I enjoy that I don't have to bring
I love that
my man on the show.
I love that.
I literally just get to show up. Well, you were asked to do Traders.
Yes, I was asked to do traders.
And then we heard that you were not doing it. Yeah. Why did you choose not to do it?
So I was asked to do traders. I was really excited about doing it, by the way.
Yeah, we talked about it, but it wasn't public at that time.
Is it public now?
It is. It is.
Okay. They set the cast.
Yeah, because I think since you didn't do it, I think they took Portia.
It was Portia and Tamar.
Oh, it was always those two?
No, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know because they did not reveal to me who the cast was going to be.
Yeah, and Portia didn't tell me either, so I was like, maybe she replaced you.
So I kind of felt like they did get Portia.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So
why didn't you do it?
I couldn't do traders because my son's in the hospital, and he's still in the hospital. And so my son's been, I don't have a problem with it at all, but I just went. And so my son's been in the hospital since May. Well, a blogger had said Nene did not take traders because the check wasn't big enough. I was like, no.
That's not true.
No, I got the check.
You got the check.
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
Well, you know what? As mothers, I get it.
And so my son's been in the hospital since May. Well, a blogger had said Nene did not take.
And so she just pretty much addresses that his heart was rejecting, the new heart that he got was rejecting. And so, maybe we'll see her back on Housewives next season if things get better with Brett, but, I just thought it was very beautiful to see that Cynthia and Nene have reconnected. They're in a good space. I was shocked by that news. It took me aback, unfortunately.
I'm shocked also, and it's heartbreaking to me. It's heart-wrenching to me. So with any transplant, our body is meant, when something foreign is in our body tries to fight it. Mm-hmm. And rightfully so, right? Because your body's like, hold up, wait a minute, what's this here? This ain't supposed to be here. And it goes and attacks it. Anytime you get a transplant, you have to take medications for the rest of your life, and you can't miss some because of the simple fact of you're taking these meds so that your body won't fight off this new thing that you need. My heart is breaking for Brent. He's so young. I don't even know what happened that he needed this heart so badly like that.
So she said in the episode that apparently he had signs of being diabetic. That wasn't really being taken care of. And then he had a massive stroke. And his heart never fully recovered from the stroke, which caused him to have to get a new heart. And so then since then, the heart has been rejected from the body. And so that's what they're trying to control now. But she also did talk about how just close of a relationship that he had with his dad and how that stress just, the passing, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's sad. Yeah.
It was really sad, but I seen that and I was like, oh my God, okay. We need to send up prayers for Brent, and keep things, going positively for him. And then this last thing, because this just brought joy to my heart, and then we can move on.
Happy Essence.
Okay. One of the commenters said that he's a good man, Savannah, a good man. And Eva said, and is, #Sterlings. Are we here for the Sterlings getting back together?
I'm here for it 100%.
1000%.
I'm really here. I'm really here for it.
I mean,
it's always good to see couples stay together. With things that, now with this social media day and age, everybody just breaks up so quickly. And if you know any marriage, if you speak to anybody who has been in their marriage forever, they worked at it. This thing was work, and they did what they had to do, right? It was work. So it's nice to see those two back together. When I saw that, I did smile too, and I'm happy for them because all together, she has, is it 3 kids she has or 4?
4. They have 3 together, and then Marley.
They have Marley, right? So I'm here for it. I love it, and I hope that this second go around is everything that they want it to be. I'm here for it.
Like all the people getting back together. We've been seeing a lot of pictures of Tia and her man and their family all hanging out. And the twins celebrated their 47th birthday on yesterday as well. So the sisters are back together too, Tia and Tamara.
Well, come on, sisters.
I said, come family reunion. The people are getting together.
Yeah. You know, the only one who is being unlucky in love right now, I'm feeling for Cardi B. Don't do that. I feel for her.
You know, sometimes
I like Cardi B. I like Cardi B.
Yeah, but sometimes we have to go away and be by ourselves and grow. We got to go away, be by ourselves and grow. You know, jumping from relationship to relationship is not always the best idea. Sometimes we need to step back and learn some things from our relationships and try again a little later. So we've seen Cardi through 2 relationships so far. And those were just the public ones. So yeah, maybe it's just time to focus on being a mommy and being a musical artist, because she's great at those 2 things. Really, really good.
She's great. She's great with her fashion too. But you know, she wants a man, and I want Cardi to keep her head up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That 4-4 player wasn't the one. I mean,
no, that's why I'm not like too like, I'm like whatever, like go on, send on his way.
You know what's wild, Red? 2 seconds ago we saw them in the castle. He rented out a whole castle.
Girl, listen,
how you go from a castle to you wipe your Instagram clean of him?
Sometimes you got to cut him off at the head. Okay.
You stupid.
Well, listen, y'all, we appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by to both of our channels. We are live on both channels, Chronicles of the Grayhead Diva and Royaire's World. So if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe to both channels. Make sure you hit the like button on both channels and your notification bells on all. That way you see each and every time we post a video with you in mind. Join us on Thursday for our episode 6 recap of NextGen NYC. Diva, the people are going on their trip next episode, so we may only have 8 episodes this season, like I said earlier.
Yeah, we may have only 8, but it does say, hey, it's good because they're going to the shore. They're going to Jersey Shore.
They're going to Jersey Shore. I'm good.
Is Charlie going to be there?
I guess we'll look and see.
We'll look and see. Yeah,
we'll find out and see. I mean, it's not like he's really wanted at this point, so.
No, I'm trying to see if he's gonna have his fair share of everything they doing on the trip.
Listen, I want him to show up to this reunion unlike Britt Edie did, because we need you to get some explaining now, Charlie. You got some explaining to do, and we need to hear the answers. And we need to have
a reunion.
They need a reunion. They better do a reunion. I feel like with everything that has happened this season, we definitely need to sit down. We don't need no 3-part reunion, but we need at least a 1-part, like an hour reunion to address some of the things. Some stuff has really happened this season, and I feel like we need to address those things, that have happened. Some friendships have shifted this season. We have new friendships that have grown. So I definitely feel like they're deserving of a reunion. At least an hour. Give us an hour, Bravo. At least one reunion.
Give us an hour. Yeah.
I think it'll be really good. So stay tuned for us for the next episode 6 of NextGen NYC. Next Sunday, The Real Housewives of Atlanta Part 1 reunion will be airing. So we will be recapping that on next Monday. So make sure you stay tuned onto that. I will be recapping episode 2 of Nelly and Ashanti, We Belong Together, on Wednesday. So join me for that recap as well. Auntie Diva will be going live tonight for Trending Topics. So make sure you go over to her channel and join Trending Topics tonight about 8:30. She should be going live for that. Anything else going on?
No, that's everything. We all good.
Did you see that Love and Marriage Huntsville came back without Melody?
Child, I'm still not even gonna watch it. I don't think. I have to think about it.
I said that I was gonna watch it just to see what the dynamic is without her, and can they survive without her? Because they always say the show must go on, but how the show goes on is very curious, So I'm gonna check it out and see what it's giving.
Did it come? It came on already last Saturday?
I thought it comes on the 19th, July 19th.
Oh, okay, maybe I'll watch it too with you, Royaire, because I couldn't deal with her and her followers. They was just too much. It's like if recap the show and you felt something about Melody, they was doing too much.
Doing too much, yeah. I remember when it was on, and I said, if she doesn't come back, I'll check it out and see what they talking. So I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see what they talking, and we'll look at that.
Okay, maybe I'll check it out with you. Okay. Because it will be interesting what they got to say, but it did get very toxic.
Yes.
So maybe it lost that toxic flavor now that she's gone. We'll see.
All right. Listen, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Join Diva tonight, and we will catch y'all on Wednesday. Good night, or Thursday. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Good night, y'all.
Royaire's World.